That's the story for now.
Yes. Shining bright like a diamond, but it might get a little dull out later, Julie.
Yes, indeed. So let's enjoy these dry times in this beautiful shot from our Fort Lauderdale tower cam. And the temperatures, they're not too terribly warm yet, though they're already starting to warm up every time I greet you, every 8 to 10 minutes. We're at 76 degrees right now in Fort Lauderdale, 78 Miami, 79 rain-cooled degrees in Key West. About 2 degrees more comfortable than yesterday. We do have some showers down by Key West in the Middle Keys. But as for rain, we're expecting our storms to develop just after 2 o'clock. And going into much of the metro coastal areas, the storm coverage will head that way again. So our highest rain chances starts after lunchtime, after 2 o'clock. This is the lowest rain chances in the forecast. We will see the concern for flooding. So the Prediction Center has put us under a flood 2 level compared to the past previous days, which means a higher chance for us to see the flash flooding as a big concern with any more rainfall. As for rain, we do have a few showers right now right by Key West and in towards No Name Key, Saddle Bunch Key as well. Okay, let's go to the tropical update. Okay, first 10 minutes of the newscast, we promise you that tropical weather update. And while we have started the peak of hurricane season today, we're going to have meteorologist Amanda Pappas, join us with more on that. I can tell you there's no development expected in the next 7 days. More coming up.
Alrighty, let's take a look at your roads now. South Florida, 7:33 on this Wednesday morning. This accident still active on the Palmetto Expressway. It did involve a rollover car, which is why it's probably taking so long to clean up. But you can see here, it's just after Northwest 103rd Street, or as you approach Northwest 103rd Street, rather. And you can see that ramp right there from 75 to the Palmetto is blocked, but you are still able to get around it. But because it is blocked, it is causing some serious delays on the Palmetto going southbound in this area. We can take you over to your maps. Very, very busy out there on this Wednesday morning. You can see things are starting to be really congested out there. Closer to where I was just showing you that live look, you can see all that red, and that's that ramp I was telling you about, that things are moving pretty slow there. You can see it's pretty congested, and it continues to remain congested. You could take the turnpike if you'd like to avoid that. Let's take a look over here. This accident is still active as well. 95 going northbound. It's your express lanes where this accident happened. It's right after Opelika Boulevard. You can see there that pocket of red. Your right lane is blocked in this area. You can take 441 if you'd like to avoid it. The good news is once you get past it, it does start to clear up. Let's take you over to some drive times here. This is for I-75. My friends who take this going northbound, the Palmetto to I-595, 14 minutes. The Palmetto to Pines Boulevard, 8. Be safe.
On this Wednesday, we saw wet conditions yesterday. Just over 2.5 inches of rain was accumulated over parts of Miami. And remember, we just saw over 3 inches yesterday. So adding to the rainfall totals, any more rainfall today is going to bring us that excessive flooding concern. So that's why we're under that level 2 flood threat. The Weather Prediction Center has Broward and Miami-Dade under that flood threat, as more rain is going to provide for flash flooding. But I mean, right now it's hard to say that when we're seeing such a beautiful start with dry conditions, sunshine breaking through clouds. Temperatures are in the mid to upper 70s, dew points in the mid 70s, and even the low 70s. So as for now, the winds are calm, moving in from the west-southwest, 6 miles per hour. Our dew points are providing for the air temperature to feel like the 80s in Miami and mid 70s, Broward and Miami-Dade. As we go down to the Keys, that's where we've been seeing the saturation of showers and storms for much of the morning. Key West, Saddle Bunch Key to Marathon Key. Otherwise, Broward and Miami-Dade, as promised, you're starting the day dry. Kids are getting to school dry. You're getting to work dry, you're getting your errands done, and then we will see those storms rolling in. Just to the north of us, though, we're continuing to see the fall-like weather conditions. It's fantastic from the northeast to the mid-Atlantic, all the way down to the southeast. As far as south is the Panhandle of Florida. Look, 69 degrees in Gainesville with an air temperature and a dew point of 63, 59 for Tallahassee. Unfortunately, we're not going to be tapping into any of that moisture. We have another round of showers and storms in our forecast today. The timing is from 2 till about 6 o'clock. Then we do it again tomorrow. And again, that keeps us under that flood threat. Really is going to be our biggest concern. We could see an additional 2 to 4 inches of rain expected for some isolated areas. Really, my concern is for you across Brickell, Hialeah, in towards parts of Fort Lauderdale as well today. As that level 2 flood threat continues, not just today, but also going into tomorrow. Now, as we go to the forecast, I do want you to know we're keeping that chance of lightning, flooding, and even some damaging winds in these storms. Changes do come as we go into the end of the weekend, but we got to wait for it. So we're hoping for some drier weather to move in. As for the 7-day forecast, keep that rain year-round, at least until Friday. Now, today's not any Wednesday. It is September 10th. It is the peak of hurricane season, so we sent out meteorologist Amanda Pappas to the National Hurricane Center to speak with our specialists there and really talk to them about what we are expecting for the rest of the hurricane season.
Hey Julie, yeah, I'm here in front of the National Hurricane Center and NOAA office, and did you know that 50% of the season activity actually occurs after September 9th? So that's the major deal here, folks, and we have been quiet for it being the peak of hurricane season, which we're thankful for. But I just spoke to the public affairs officer, Maria Torres. She was wonderful. Another Latina, females in STEM, love to see it, of course, number one. Number two, she is one of the meteorologists here, of course, on staff, and we spoke about how it has been quiet, but however, it only takes one storm, right, to change a season. 1992, Hurricane Andrew, we know that devastated this area. I'm going to toss over to the graphics, though, so that way you guys can see. With Andrew in mind, right, it only took one storm, but that was more of a below average season. We didn't have a ton of activity, but still it changed the face of South Florida forever. And we do know that hurricane season does not end until November 30th. So we have a lot of time left right now. No development, thankfully, is expected within the next 7 days. But the key is that we saw, for example, Hurricane Ian. I covered that down in Fort Myers that completely devastated and was a catastrophe, for Fort Myers, that entire area. That happened September 28th, that anniversary coming up very quickly. And in addition to that, we've had named storms like Nicole back in 2022 in November, as late as November, when people think that hurricane season's over. So remember, the start date, of course, June 1st. We see some preseason activity always, and that official end date is November 30th. But we've even had a no-name storm throughout January before. So anything's possible, but for right now, we're in the clear. And of course, myself and the rest of the Weather Authority team will always be here with you before, during, and after any storm. Reporting live from the National Hurricane Center, meteorologist Amanda Pappas.
All right, thanks, Amanda. South Florida, let's take a look at this accident on the Palmetto Expressway going southbound. This right here is near Northwest 103rd Street. Things are starting to clear up and move a little bit more swiftly. It was moving very, very slowly before. You can see the cars coming down from the ramp of 75 and starting to slow down because they are down to one lane in order to get onto the Palmetto going southbound. The good news is, as you can see, it's starting to clear up. It did involve a car that rolled over, so that was what's causing all those delays this morning. It was active for quite some time. Here's what it looks like now. Still a lot of red right there, but again, as I mentioned, starting to look a little better. Let's take you to another area. We have an accident. This one just popped up. This is the Don Shula Expressway going northbound. This is just before Kendall Drive, so just before Southwest 88th Street. That's where we're seeing this accident. You do have a right lane blocked, which is why you see all that red right there. Definitely no fun to sit in. You can take the turnpike instead if you'd like to avoid this, or the 826, the Palmetto Expressway. Let's take you over to some drive times here. This right here is for my friends who take 75 going northbound Palmetto to I-595, 14 minutes. The Palmetto to Pines Boulevard, 8 minutes. Andrew?
Well, the Miami Dolphins.
Because it all depends on where you're at. Could be raining on one side of the street, not the other, but we are noticing the steering component of these storms have been favoring our coastline, so don't take a chance. Just keep the rain gear handy. I mean, what does it hurt just leaving it in your car? You may use it. As of right now, we are rain free. Boy, it looks fantastic out there. We've had such a beautiful start to the last couple mornings, and then the ending of it has been pretty wet. As for temperatures, we're 1 to 2 degrees more comfortable than yesterday. Rainfall is expected right now in the Keys. Then we will see that chance of showers later this afternoon, starting again around 2, 3, 4 o'clock, but ending slightly earlier than the past previous evenings. So that might be some good news. Noticing rain chances at least sticking around as we go into about 6, 7 o'clock and then starting to diminish. As for the forecast, because we've seen days of rain and so much rainfall, we are under that level 2 flood threat for Broward, Miami-Dade today, tomorrow, and Friday. The Weather Prediction Center is stating that we could see flash flooding become more of a bigger risk than what we've seen in quite some time. Speaking of flooding, we could see some flooding right now. We've got Saddleback Key dealing with quite a lightning storm moving over parts of No Name Key as US 1. Let's go to the tropics. I'm happy to tell you on this peak season day of hurricane season, no tropical cyclone development is expected. More on all this coming up.
South Florida, good morning. It's just after 8 a.m. and things are moving a little better on your roads. Your accidents have since cleared, and I'll point out to you some areas where things are moving pretty slowly. It is prime time out there. This is the Dolphin Expressway near Northwest 32nd Avenue. You can see these are your eastbound lanes where you're seeing that bumper-to-bumper traffic. Your westbound lanes look good, though. If you typically do take this as part of your commute, you can always take the Airport Expressway instead. Let's take you to your maps. Things looking really, really colorful out there because you are in that rush hour time. You can see things moving really slowly in both your north and southbound lanes there on 95. But let's talk about those accidents that you had that were causing some delays, but they have since cleared. This, you're still seeing some congestion going southbound on 826 as you approach Northwest 103rd Street, so the Palmetto Expressway there. Your northbound lanes look good, though. Let's take you over to another accident. accident that you had, but also has since cleared. This right here, the Don Shula Expressway, as you approach Kendall Drive, you can also see that it's no longer red, it's turned orange, and once you get past it, it starts to clear up. So that still looks a little better. Let's take a look here. Drive times 595 Broward County going eastbound I-75 to US 1 21 minutes. University Drive to US 1 11. Be safe out there.
Temperatures have been relatively tolerable, Julie.
Yeah.
However, it has come with the relentless rainfall.
Yeah, and it's thanks to the rainfall. Overnight temperatures were down to the mid-70s at one point. It was fantastic, Eric, Alexis, South Florida, but now the sun is up and these temperatures are rising. We're in the mid to upper 70s and lower 80s, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Key West. We are anticipating another round of afternoon storms. I don't expect them to be as widespread or nearly as strong to that marginal severe weather threat like we've been seeing, a lot of lightning, but we are expecting the severe flooding a possibility because any more rainfall on the already saturated ground out there will pose for that possible flash flood threat. As for rain chances, we're at our lowest chance of rain this morning, and then the rain chances do go up by the afternoon. We're under a level 2 flood threat for the Weather Prediction Center. That's a very high threat, so we need to take things seriously. Turn around, don't drown. As we go to the rain on the radar, it's down by Key West and Saddle Bunch Key, as well as No Name Key. Tropical updates in. I'm happy to tell you no tropical cyclone development is expected in the next 7 days. More on the forecast coming up.
Hey, South Florida. All right, we're taking another look here at your roads. You still have this accident right here. This is on I-95 going northbound. Here's a live look just after or at Northwest 95th Street. This is definitely something you want to avoid. You can see that there's a school bus involved here. Everybody seems to be okay, but there are some emergency vehicles assisting the situation here. Things moving really slowly. You do have a right lane blocked there. It's not the only place you have an accident on 95. This is what we were just looking at going southbound. As I mentioned, one lane blocked. A little further north, we do have another accident going southbound. This is just before Miami Gardens Drive. Your left lane is blocked there. So 95 going southbound for quite a few blocks there is not looking good for you. You definitely want to take 441 instead. As you can see, you've got lots of congestion in the Golden Glades interchange as you move further down south. Not looking good. Definitely use that alternate instead. I'll leave you with these drive times right here. Broward County, you guys are accident free. 595 going eastbound, I-75 to US 1 22 minutes. University Drive to US 113. Be safe.
Welcome back, South Florida. What a wonderful start to our Wednesday. It is beautiful out there. Temperatures are in the upper 70s. So it's not too terribly warm. And we've got that sunshine just shining bright on us with a southwest wind. Our temperatures are starting to warm up, though, with the dew points. The atmospheric moisture already starting to creep in. Our dew points are in the mid to upper 70s. Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Key West, winds anywhere between 3 to 5 miles per hour. Not too terribly strong. That's the one thing we've noticed over the past several days is that the wind speeds have been very calm and maybe 5 to 10 miles per hour. And so therefore the storms have been very slow moving. So unfortunately, that's really a big part of our forecast being flooding as our biggest concern. As for feels like temperatures, we're in the 80s, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, low 80s, that's not terrible. Key West in the 90s. We do have some 80s for Key West actually into No Name Key. It was 91 at Marathon. That's because we've had all those downpours for Key West. Wailea, we're still under that same weather pattern, area of high pressure, area of low pressure rather, across parts of the Gulf, and that's providing for that southwest wind, while a ridge of high pressure is to the north, and that's basically keeping us blocked ahead of the stalled out front. It's not letting this front really move up or down or move away from us. But what's happening is that cooler, drier, less humid conditions continues to move as far south as northern Florida. Even the Panhandle, fantastic this morning with temperatures in the 60s and low 70s and dew points in the 50s and even low 60s. But you notice it puts its brakes on just near parts of Tampa. For us, we'll be ahead of that system like the past previous days. Better chance of storms this afternoon. I think my graph, this is one of the two models we use, is getting pretty aggressive with those torrential downpours. My triple R shows more of a break. So I'm not expecting numerous showers and thunderstorms. But you know what? At this point, the ground is so saturated. Any more showers over the already flooded areas would just provide for that possibility of the flash flooding expected. So our in-house model does pull about 2 inches of rain going in today and tomorrow, some isolated areas and possibly even as much as another 2.5 to 3 or 4 inches once everything is said and done. So that puts us under that slight risk for excessive rainfall outlook. The Weather Prediction Center keeps us in it not just today, but also going into tomorrow. And this is a higher risk than what we've seen in quite some time. So our risk will be flooding, lightning, and some damaging winds before we keep our fingers crossed. That frontal boundary finally slides to the south. Now the models are not in agreement. Yesterday we had one model that actually did show that drier air right into our backyard. Today it looks as though it holds it a little bit more north, so it's really going to be a waiting game to see what happens. Even our dew point model shows our dew points at least dropping off to the low 70s. I think that'll be a change compared to these mid to upper 70s, but boy, wouldn't we love to see those 60s. Not quite yet. We'll still have to wait it out. Moderate risk of occurrence for beachgoers, boaters. Bays will be at a light chop for you in the Keys. Nearshore waters also looking at a light chop. Here's your 7-day forecast. We'll have highs staying in the upper 80s and low 90s because we're seeing that sunshine out there, but it's really about the rain chances staying high at least until Friday. Have a great day.
Alrighty, South Florida, look at your roads, 8:48 on this Wednesday morning. Let's take a look right here, middle of the week, and things are looking pretty congested on 95 going southbound. This is as you approach Miami Gardens Boulevard. You can see here you have all of that delay there in all your lanes, your regular lanes, but your express lanes look good. So let's take you over to your map so you can see here what we're looking at. This is Miami Gardens Drive, rather. I said Boulevard a little while ago. Drive. I need another cup of coffee, South Florida. 2 right lanes blocked is what you are seeing all of those delays from. So all of that red right there as you approach the Golden Glades interchange is what you'll have to sit in because of that accident. You can take 441 if you'd like to avoid this. You can always take 441 because southbound is always pretty congested in 95. Right now you have that accident making it just worse. Let's take you to some drive times here. This right here is for my friends who take the Palmetto Expressway going southbound. Northwest 154th Street to the Dolphin will take you 46 minutes. Quite a drive there, but we've seen it worse. I-75 to the Dolphin, 47. Be safe out there, Eric.
Annaliese